In the world of wrestling in the last 20 or so years, there has been a lot of wrestling marriages that's taken place. Well, pre-2000, you had marriages like Randy and Liz that went out without a hitch. But since 1999, it didn't matter what company it was, TNA or WWE, all wrestling marriages do not have a happy ending. Whether it's Test and Stephanie, Lita and Edge, AJ and Daniel Bryan, and of course, tonight, Brooke and Bully Ray. Well, what was the ending? Well, you just have to watch this review to find out. Zack Attack is here by TNA Impact Wrestling Review for tonight, January the 17th, 2013. Of course, the aftermath of Genesis in the ring of Bully Ray and Brooke Hogan. When it comes to wrestling action, not a lot tonight. We'll only have 3 matches tonight, which makes sense because after a pay-per-view, plus they want to focus more on this wedding tonight. And I was wondering if Ace and H was going to get involved in tonight, which it didn't. It seemed like it was going to be the first Impact without Ace and H. Well, as we would find out at the wedding, it wasn't to be an Ace and H free night. On to our order business. We kick off Impact tonight, as we saw segments throughout the evening involving the wedding, with Bully Ray having his best man Taz, along with Tommy Dreamer, who I thought was weird seeing him because he was just WWE recently doing the Slammies, and also Spike Dudley was there. And of course, we saw Brooke Hogan throughout the evening with her bridal party, Mickey James, Miss Tessmacher, and Christy. And of course, the hunt to try to get Hulk to walk Brooke down the aisle, despite Hulk's reservations on Bully. But after that, we're on to our first segment in the ring, which includes Jeff Hardy celebrating his victory over Austin Aries and Bobby Roode this past Sunday in the triple threat match to retain his TNA World Championship. As Hardy was in celebration mode, here comes Kaz and Daniels, Team Bad Influence. Of course, Daniels, who defeated James Storm with just a little help from Kazarian, we're now going to shot against Jeff Hardy next Thursday on Impact for the TNA World title. As Daniels was mouthing Hardy, and of course his fan base, saying he's defeated AJ, and now he defeated James Storm, and now he's going to defeat Jeff Hardy to become the TNA champion. And you have a habit of losing, just like your fans, your creatures as you call them. And since Hardy wanted a fight now, he beat the crap out of Daniels and Kaz after that speech. But of course, as Daniels was double teaming on Hardy, I knew Storm was going to come out, and indeed, Storm did come out to save Hardy. And Kaz and Daniels left the ring, but not for long, as we would have an impromptu tag team match to begin the evening. So it's Jeff Hardy teaming up with James Storm against Team Bad Influence, Kaz and Daniels. And you're going, Team Hardy Storm, who have teamed up many times before, including last week, were on the white page, double teaming and taking advantage of Kaz and Daniels only. But of course, in the midway point of the match, Kaz and Daniels and their tremendous teamwork and their cockiness, of course, took advantage of the match for the second half of it, double teaming on Hardy for most of the match with great tags, and now proving that Kaz and Daniels are probably one of the best tag teams in TNA, and 2 of the best heels going to the TNA, with the exception of Aries and Roode. Of course, we would see them later on in the evening as well. So, Kaz and Daniels took advantage of the midway point of the matchup, beat the crap out of Hardy until Hardy made the comeback, made a hot tag to James Storm. Storm came in like a house of fire, destroying Daniels and Kaz. And as of course, Storm clotheslines both Kaz and Daniels out of the ring. And Hardy got a quick tag back in. And Kaz was trying to get a twist of fate, but Kaz reversed it. But then, of course, Hardy did get the victory in a twist of fate. It looked more like a diamond cutter. I do agree. He kind of angled it wrong, but it looked like a diamond cutter, then a twist of fate and a 1-2-3 victory for Jeff Hardy and James Storm, sending a message to Kaz and Daniels. Especially Daniels, taking out Hardy next week. But Daniels had the last laugh, sending his own message by delivering the angel wings on Hardy on the championship belt following the match. So, Daniels and Hardy will take on each other next week. I expect Candice to indeed be involved, but we will see who will get the victory and become the TNA champion. Will Hardy retain, or will we have a new champion of Daniels, who's won the tag title, who's won the television title, who's won the X Division? It could be another Grand Slam champion winning the World title next week, but I doubt it. Now on to our next match, on to our next segment, involving the Gut Check guys, as Jay Bradley and Eric Cage, Brian Cage, won the ring. Of course, these two guys battled each other last week in the Gut Check match. Both guys looked very good in the matchup. Of course, Bradley got the victory, but no matter win or lose, one of these two men would get a contract. Of course, they began an elimination process of which man will get the award from the judges to determine whether or not he will get a contract or not. And Brian Cage was the one that was eliminated to the fans' dismay. I think we saw the heat last week from Jay Bradley getting booed already. And of course, he fed off the energy from the fans not caring about him, as Jay Bradley would go on to have the judges evaluate Mr. Bradley on whether or not he will be in TNA or not. And Taz said no, but Al Snow and Bruce Pritchard both said yes. So that means Jay Bradley, whether the fans love him or not. Sorry, allergies are kicking in. Jay Bradley is officially a member of the TNA roster. We'll see how he does. He has a cool heel attitude. You know, he looked decent in his character, but he got the last minute win. But indeed, win any way you can. Mr. Bradley did, and then we would see what would happen with Bradley later on. We would see what happened with them in the future. So look, Mr. Bradley, congrats to him for the contract in TNA. Now on to the next match. We had two Genesis rematches. Sorry. Two Genesis rematches for the night, starting with Kenny King and Christian York, the rematch of the X Division Tournament Final, which Kenny King won. I mean, lost to Christian York, but King won the rematch. And York came in like a house of fire, beating the crap out of Kenny King early, thinking that King's post-match attack prevented him from being 100% against Rob Van Dam right after that match to take him on for the X Division Championship. And he lost, and York wants a rematch, but until then, of course, he has a match against Kenny King in the meantime. It was a decent matchup for being an X Division match. York looked very good like he has done in the past. York has potential. You know, he had a great matchup, had some decent moments, some great kicks for both these guys. Kind of a precursor for Bellator is taking place right now.
The champ just entered the ring.
So, Bellator's starting, but anyway, Kenny King was beginning his bumping by Christian York, but as York was ready to get the advantage after a big suplex in a pin, King got the tights and the pin and the win. As like I said, Kenny wins by any cost by grabbing the tights. And again, they've been hoping to send a message to TNA board of directors and getting himself another match against Rob Van Dam. So Kenny King gets the win over Christian York in a decent matchup. York looked very good, but of course, Kenny King took the cheater's way out yet again, as he would indeed get the victory. Now, of course, we would see, Rude and Aries interacting with each other throughout the evening, arguing about who screwed who in the championship matchup, but they agreed on one thing. They want to interrupt Brooke and Bully's wedding. But,
Ding, ding, ding.
till then, I gotta make this quick because the fight put the start. Anyway, Sting came out. Of course, Bully Ray was pleading to Sting to try to help him out, to try to convince Hulk to walk Brooke down the aisle. Of course, we have seen Hulk's reservations towards Bully in the last couple of weeks, and Sting seems to be the voice of reason. He's the one that trusted Bully Ray first when it came to picking him as a tag team partner at Bound for Glory this past October. So Sting pleaded to Hulk to come on down, and Sting pleaded his case about, yes, this business has eluded Hulk Hogan from trusting Bully Ray. He doesn't have nothing against Bully Ray, as we would see later on, but Hulk Hogan had reservation because of the wrestling business. He didn't want Brooke to date a wrestler. He didn't want Brooke to go through the same problems that he gave her as a dad, being a wrestler a working wrestler. Of course, Sting said that he and Hulk traveled the world together, working every match impossible. And there are people who loved him and turned their backs, and that's what Hulk Hogan was trying to have Brooke avoid. The wrestler's code of honor of Brooke being pulled on by Bully Ray and end up not being loved by him, blah, 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 blah. And with the fans saying do it, Hulk says he'll do the right thing. Will he do the right thing? We would find out later on. Next, our last match of the evening, which is a knockouts match, another Genesis rematch, stemming from a number of contenders matches past. Sunday, Velveteen got the victory over Gail Kim in a gauntlet match, but referee Kenrussell did not see Gail's foot underneath the rope, so the match was null and void, and a rematch took place. So Velveteen took on Gail Kim once again in a number of contenders match for the knockouts title. Said this time and time again. The knockouts can wrestle. And Gail took the advantage throughout the match, and she looked very good in this matchup, in an okay matchup. But of course, Velveteen made the comeback, and Gail almost had the pin almost the same way she lost, as she pinned Velvet. Her foot was underneath the rope, and referee Kenrussell did see it. And with hearing arguing with Gail got distracted to get the in-your-face by Velvet and a 1-2-3 victory, clean victory in the ring in the middle without any controversy, as Velveteen gets the victory and once again reclaims her number one contendership competition for Terra. I'm guessing probably in Impact next couple weeks, since we won't have another pay-per-view till lockdown in March. So there you go. Velvet gets the win cleanly. It will be number one contender for Terra's knockouts title. Now on with our next matchup, entering the next segment. Before we get to the wedding, Austin Aries and Bobby Roode came out saying that everyone's having a celebration party. Why not us? We're the two biggest stars in TNA. Now, I said that Daniels and Cass are great heels. And Aries and Roode are also great heels. It seemed Aries and Roode trying to soften their egos and team up together is very interesting, as they objected to the rating and objected to all the current champions. Them being all WWE rejects. Or former WWE people. With Chavo teaming up with Hernandez, a TNA original tag team, of the X Division, Hardy the tag, World Champ, TV Champ, Devon, and to object Aries and Roode's objections to the current champions. Here comes Hernandez and Chavo. I smell a possible feud between Aries and Roode with Chavo and Hernandez. And Chavo's like, we're the champs here now, blah, 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 blah. We object your objections. And then, of course, Kaz and Daniels made fun of them being Mexican, saying, hey, Mexican receptionist in the wedding, we want food. And, of course, Chavo and Hernandez wanted the talking to be good and beat the crap out of both Roode and Aries was up for the border toss. But, of course, Bobby pulled Hernandez's leg, avoiding that from happening, saving Aries from a terrible fate of a border toss and a splash from Chavo. But like I said, this feud has just begun. Now on to our next segment, our last segment, the wedding. Bully Ray and Brooke Hogan. Of course, Bully Ray came out first. Now this wedding's kind of weird. In this case, it's storyline, but anyway. Brooke Hogan came out, of course, son's father at first, with, of course, all the bridal party watching. But in the last minute, after being talked by Sting in backstage area, with saying that Hulk said to Sting, it's not about Bully, he's not a bad guy, he's one of them. It's about Brooke. He wants to protect Brooke for getting her heart tugged by Bully. He didn't want Brooke to trust Bully, and then Bully turned her back on her, blah, 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 blah. He doesn't want Brooke's heart to be broken. But at the last minute, Hulk Hogan did come out and walked Brooke down the aisle. And of course, we saw them exchanging vows, blah, blah, blah. And it had the objection of forever hold your peace. No one objected then, but someone would object. As Bully and Brooke exchanged their rings and expressed their love. And as they were about to say, I now pronounce you husband and wife, Taz interrupted. And as Bully Ray, does he want to go on with this? Taz and y'all angry and say, okay, you're going to go into it. And is it just me or is it get hot here? So Taz took off his wedding jacket, his tux jacket, to reveal he was wearing a Aces and Eights vest. Yes, Taz is now an Aces and Eights apparently. And with that, here comes Aces and Eights. The other Ready crashes besides Aries and Wood. As Aces and Eights crash the Ready, beat the crap out of everybody. Beat the crap out of Hogan, beat the crap out of Bully Ray, ruining the Ready. We would end with Doc and Devon holding Brooke hostage, but then being let go as she was the witness. Her husband-to-be and her daddy getting their butts whipped by Aces and Eights. Sting came down too, but it was too little, too late. Like I said, not all wrestling marriages, not all wrestling weddings have happy endings. This was no exception to the rule. As Bully Ray and Bulk Hogan's wedding was crashed by Aces and Eights, apparently Taz has now joined Aces and Eights. So we would see what will go down in that continuing storyline as Aces and Eights continue to attack everybody. I thought we weren't gonna see him tonight, but end up we did. See them crash the Ready. That's how we Impact, with Brooke crying as her wedding day was ruined by Aces and Eights. And that is it for this Impact Now Wrestling. Somewhat excitement, but wedding, Aces and Eights, wedding crashers. That is it for the TNA Impact review for tonight. See you all later. Thank you all very much for watching. Now I'm going to watch some Bellator, which is on right now as I speak when I'm making this video. With that in mind, you've been attacked by the review from Zach. Thank you so much. See you later. Yeah.